You know what they say about people who represent themselves? You have a fool for a client. It takes years of training. Yeah. Don't interrupt me when I speak. Stop. You want to interrupt me again, ma'am? Ma'am, you just be quiet.
Wow.
Focus on me. Focus on me. This isn't first grade. You're an adult. You've been warned. You want to speak over me again?
What you want to do is what you kind of
Ma'am, you're in timeout. We're going to treat you like the child you're acting like. You're in timeout. I'll deal with this next week.
Why are you pulling out?
Ma'am, you're under arrest.
This lady walked into court acting like the rules just flat out don't apply to her. She's talking with the judge, arguing every single detail, and giving off that I'm always right energy that instantly rubs everyone the wrong way. Her original charge was assault, and now she's back in front of the same court because she couldn't even follow the most basic conditions of her probation. That alone tells you a lot, and she's the type of person who thinks saying, "It's not that serious," somehow makes the problem disappear. Meanwhile, you can literally see her attorney try and calm her down and steer her in the right direction. But she's too busy talking to realize she's making his job impossible. At some point, it becomes clear she's not defending herself. She's sabotaging herself. The judge is visibly done with the attitude, and honestly, after watching this unfold, it's hard to blame him. Courtrooms run on respect and order, and once you start talking over the judge, you've already lost a room. This is a debate stage, and it's not a personality contest. It's about accountability. Also, quick side note, I've seen some wild phrases popping up in the comments on videos like this, and I'm not even going to touch that stuff. Let's keep it about the behavior and the choices, not labels. Because at the end of the day, this case isn't about identity. It's about someone who refuses to take responsibility. So yeah, let's dive in and watch how this attitude plays out when reality finally catches up.
Brittany Cherie Sylvester.
Yes, that's right.
In 21-38966, there is a second amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation motion filed January of this year. So we've gone through about a half a year, and we need to move forward one way or the other. What are we going to do on this, David?
She had some problems. I've spoken to her on more than one occasion. These started, I believe, in early January, February, something like that. Miss Sylvester denied that she pled guilty before the court. On the original case here, basically, as we went through the motion to revoke probation, she denied committing any of them and wanted to talk to the court about whether she committed any of these offenses because she didn't think that she should be here. She has not violated her probation, I guess is what I think she is stating.
Correct. I have not violated it. I have made every...
No, but you've never been on probation? Or
I've been on probation now since 2022 of December.
Yeah. That's not what you just said, David.
I've never been in any trouble or anything like that.
No, here's what's been alleged is you failed to report to the probation office in June of 23, August of 23, and September of 23. You failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of such. That's what it alleges. I know what happens with a lot of folks. As long as you're trying hard to get employment, that's what's important to me. You failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as required. And that's important because that's community service and that's a necessary concept of probation. You failed to provide verification of entering and successfully completing an anger management program. Then there's failing to pay court-assessed fees as directed. This says you were $734 in arrears in court fees as of January, but some people can't pay. And if you can't pay, you don't go to jail on my watch.
Well,
and hold on, one more. And this says you failed to report to the probation office on or about September 14th, 2024 for a judicial review.
Statement moved to amend that date to September 13th, Judge.
I was not aware that I needed to go back to the probation office based on what I was told over the...
Okay, hold on. That's for me to decide and a hearing. I mean, you're going to plead untrue to it is what we're saying, what you're saying. I'm not going to change it. It says on or about September 14th.
All right.
It's
Well,
good enough for me.
what I would like to add is that I've made every effort to keep the check-in dates with my probation
Okay, that's
officer, several times. I then was rescheduled.
Hold on. Here's what we're going to do. If you're pleading untrue to all of these, then we have a hearing in front of me. That's me to decide. I get to hear both sides, and then I make the decision. That's the way it works.
Well, what I would like is for the probation to be reinstated.
Okay, I understand what you like. I'll listen to that at the end of the hearing.
Okay, so that's not something that can be done today.
We can do the hearing today if you want. These are all
That's
what I just told you.
That is what I would
You
like
need to prepare for this?
to
I
be
think that
reinstated. That way I can be on my way because I've got a special needs child to take care of. I've got a family.
Who's taking
And I've
care of the
got
child now?
a gospel singing career as well.
Who's taking care of the child now?
Me.
No, but when you're in jail, I mean, the child's not with you. Who's taking care of the child when you're stuck?
Well, my child is in a safety place. He's in a safe place, so I can't.
A family?
Yes, he's with a close family member.
All right.
So he is safe.
Well, it needs
He's
money.
with me. However, yes,
Is that what you're trying to say?
that is what I'm saying.
I honestly don't understand how someone can walk into court acting like they've done absolutely nothing wrong when their probation record reads like a checklist of bad decisions. She's sitting there arguing with the judge over basic, documented facts, missed appointments, unanswered calls, things that aren't even debatable. And instead of owning any of it, she keeps trying to spin everything into miscommunication, or it wasn't my fault. That's classic deflection. You can literally see her attorney dying inside. Every time he tries to step in and help, she talks right over him. At that point, you know he's questioning every life choice that led him to that courtroom. And I get it. Everyone wants to defend themselves. That's human. But there's a time and place for that, and court is not a debate club. Court is about accountability, not winning an argument. The worst part is how she keeps cutting off the judge. That's not confidence. That's self-destruction. Every interruption just stacks more trouble on top of what she already has. Judges don't see that as passion or honesty. They see it as refusal to comply. And when she starts bringing up her child like it's some kind of shield against consequences, it actually makes things worse. Judges hear that line every single day, and it stops working the moment your actions show you're not changing anything. Making mistakes is one thing. Everyone does. But doubling down, refusing to listen, and acting like the system is a problem? That's how people turn probation into prison time. And this hearing is a perfect example of that spiral happening in real time.
What do we want to do today?
Judge, I believe that what Ms. Sylvester wanted to do today was to have these addressed by the court. But
We have to go through a hearing and enter pleas.
Well, yes, sir.
that
Yes,
what
sir.
we're
And
gonna
I
do?
think that's what the court said.
Is that what we're going to do?
Hearing.
Yes, sir.
All right,
It's a
raise your
hearing, I
right
believe.
hand, man. Raise your right hand.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you may make during this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, lower your hand.
Okay.
Does the defendant waive a formal reading of the second amended motion to revoke unadjudicated probation? Can we proceed in a summary fashion to move this along?
Yes, Your Honor.
In summary, ma'am, this states that on December 19th, 2022, in this court, I placed you on deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years for the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant. Is all of that true? Is all of that true?
Could you read me the date again? You said
December
2019?
19th, 2022. You were placed on 10 years deferred or unadjudicated probation.
Well, correct.
Is that correct? All right, that's what it shows in all this file.
Correct.
Allegation number 1 states you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office on or about June 18th, 2023, August 14th, 2023. Now we're going back 2 years. September 6th, 23, in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
That is untrue.
Okay, that's all you need to say. We're going to hear both sides on that. This states number 2, you failed to work faithfully at suitable employment and provide verification of that in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
That is untrue.
Okay,
I did-
that's all. No, you're going to get to explain that. We just need to figure out what's true, what's not first. 3, you failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as required of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
That is untrue. I
4.
mean, that one is true because so yes,
Okay, you'll be able to explain all of that later.
that one is a
4,
yes.
you failed to provide verification of entering and successfully completing the anger management program as directed by the probation office. Is that true or untrue?
I did not provide verification of entering it, but I did show up to class.
It's no.
Yes and no on that one because
It's entering and successfully completing. It's conjunctive. You have to do both parts.
Then no.
All right. I'm not going to go on this. You're paying as much as you can pay toward all of these costs and everything, aren't you?
I'm paying the count 5, Judge.
Yeah, I don't even want to go into the money. 6, you failed to report to the probation office on or about September 14th, 2024 for a judicial review. Is that true or untrue?
That is untrue because I wasn't
That's all we
given
need.
the information.
Yep, that's all we need to know. No objections. Go ahead, state.
I would call Dominique Mayfield.
Yes, she would, like I stated, she would call and ask to reschedule, but those dates that she would be rescheduled for, she didn't attend.
Wow.
So out of the times,
Ma'am, you know what? Don't be rude. She
No,
gets to
please.
speak. Yes, you were.
I'm not trying to.
You just be quiet.
Okay,
You get a
I
chance
am.
to just don't make comments when the lady is speaking. Please, thank you. And we won't interrupt you and be rude.
Okay, thank you. I didn't mean
If
to.
rude was
I
a condition of
apologize.
probation, you'd be revoked for that.
I pass the witness, Judge.
The probation officer's testimony basically confirmed everything the judge already suspected from the start. And like I mentioned, I sped through that part for you guys because it's mostly paperwork and timelines. But make no mistake, that testimony mattered. A lot. Of course. She reacts like this is the first time she's ever hearing any of it, acting shocked and confused, which honestly just makes the whole thing harder to watch. You gotta defend and try to rewrite history while her own signed documents are sitting right there in black and white. Meanwhile, her attorney is doing that thing every lawyer does in these moments. Calm on the outside, absolute panic on the inside. You can practically hear him thinking, please stop talking, please stop talking. He's trying to piece together some kind of defense, any defense, and she's just ripping it apart in real time. This is a type of client that makes attorneys go home and seriously question why they ever went to law school in the first place. She talks over witnesses, interrupts the judge, and plays the victim all in the same breath. And every time she opens her mouth, she's not helping herself. She's just giving the court a clearer picture of exactly who they're dealing with. At this point, it doesn't even feel like she's trying to win anymore. It feels like her main goal is just to be heard, even if being heard completely sinks her case. And that's really the lesson here. Ego taking over common sense is one of the fastest ways to turn a manageable situation into a disaster. I see it all the time in these hearings. If she would just stop, listen, and let her attorney do his job, she might still have a chance. But right now it's spiraling fast. Let's see if her lawyer can somehow pull this back together, because as it stands, this is not looking good for her at all.
Go ahead.
Now, basically, let's go back to 2023. It sounds like she didn't report back at that time. I mean, before you were actually there, but that's what the records would indicate.
Yes.
Is that right? And this wasn't dealing with you, it's dealing with your predecessor. But she didn't report back then, right?
Great.
All right. And what efforts were made to help her get some assistance in being able to report, I guess?
At that time, when I was working with her, she did inform me that she was homeless. As far as that, on my end, I try to give resources of different places that you can go if it need be for like clothing, food, and different things like that. I do give out resources.
Well, you said that she wasn't trying to work during the time when you first, the earlier part of the time you were employed at probation. Was she employed during that time, as far as you know?
No.
So perhaps we should focus on counts 2, 4.
It's already been found true. Go ahead, go to the next one.
That I was working at Wendy's while I was on
Okay.
probation in 2023.
Let me ask you that question, and you answer the question, okay?
Okay.
All right, now then, let's wait until it's time for you to discuss it,
Okay.
so we could go ahead and ask
Go ahead.
as the present witness. Judge, I'll do this however you want me to. I just
Move forward. Just move forward.
Well,
Logging down.
Miss Sylvester, were you working back at that time in 2023?
In 2023, I was working at Wendy's as well as I was working at Steak and Shake. So I had 2 jobs at one time, and my probation officer at that time was Mr. Moody, who did come inside of Wendy's and witness me physically working there. And he just happened to come by, is what he said. He wanted to see if I was working, and that is what happened. Unfortunately, I only had that job for a few months due to me being harassed by one of the management there that was trying to force me into prostitution. So it was no longer safe for me to keep that actual job. However, I did make other efforts to find suitable work, but while I was looking for other jobs, such as at Subway, that was another place that I was looking for work at. I was catering is what I was doing, so I would go out with my non-tuna meals and try to sell those for,
Did you know
for
that?
lunch. No.
It doesn't do any good if the probation office is not aware of that.
Was this before?
You can't do it you're not on your own probation. You're supervised. We can't supervise you if you're doing things out there that you're not telling the people what you're doing. You don't get credit for it. You can talk all day long about it. I'm not going to give you credit unless they know and they supervise you. You don't supervise yourself on probation. They supervise you. And there's no supervision when you're doing things on your own and not telling them. You don't get credit for it. You're going to waste your time. And you don't get credit. David, go to the next one. She sounds like she's trying to work. Go ahead.
Okay, well, you tried to get employment then back at that time.
Marva Carthon was your probation officer?
Who?
Marva Carthon?
Miss Value.
Miss Hawthorne, but there is somebody there, last name of with the last name Valier. There's somebody there with that last name as well. I think I had at least 3 different probation officers that I am aware of.
Okay.
Miss Mayfield is the 3rd one. I wasn't given any notice. I just figured maybe people quit. So I may have misspoke as far as the name.
What about
However, Miss Hart
anger management
Hawthorne
program?
is one of the people that was
Focus-
a probation officer.
focus on me.
of mine.
Focus on me. Anger management.
Did you go to the anger management program?
I went and they didn't show up.
Who did
Nobody
you-
showed up for the class that I was signed up for at Family Services. It was in 2023.
At this point, it's honestly hard not to think she's playing dumb on purpose. Nobody is this unlucky on probation. She keeps saying nobody listens to her, nobody calls her, nobody helps her. Yet every single person in the system somehow has the exact same story about her. At some point, that stops being bad luck and starts being a pattern. And the common denominator in all of it is she's the type of person who breaks a rule and then immediately argues about why the rule shouldn't exist in the first place. And the crazy thing is, probation really isn't complicated. Show up when you're told to. Check in. Stay clean. Don't catch new charges. That's it. Probation is literally designed to keep people out of jail. For most people, it's a second chance, not a trap. And 99% of people manage it just fine. But for someone like this, even the bare minimum seems impossible. The judge keeps giving her openings, chances to show even a shred of accountability. And every single time, she fills that space with excuses instead. She just keeps talking, deflecting, blaming, and digging herself deeper. At a certain point, the court isn't hearing confusion anymore. They're hearing refusal. Honestly, the only person I feel bad for in this whole situation is her attorney. You have to give that guy credit. He's still fighting for her, even while she's doing everything humanly possible to sink her own case. Watching him try to salvage this is like watching someone attempt to mop up the ocean with a paper towel. He's staying professional, staying calm, and try to protect a client who won't stop lighting herself on fire in front of the judge. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think her attorney is actually doing a good job here under impossible circumstances? Because in my opinion, this man deserves a raise just for surviving this hearing.
I spoke with Crystal, who was the attendant working at Family Services at one of their off-site campuses where they do offer anger management. I asked her what was going on as far as why no one showed up. She said she didn't know. She was going to call them and find out why they didn't show up to the actual class. But I was already signed up for the anger management course.
All right.
And
Stop.
I did show up.
Stop. Anger management program. What does that consist of exactly? I order it in every case almost, but I've never been to see what it's like. Is it a multi-time program or is it a one thing?
It's well, if you're doing it through Family Services, it's sessions, and you have to pay per session. Then you have the option to do it through Court Solutions online, and it's a 12-hour course. It's self-paced. You pay a one-time fee, and then once you complete it, you print off the certificate and they bring it in.
Okay. How many times do the probationers have to go to a class?
For anger management, they're going in person. It is once a week.
For how long?
12 weeks.
12 weeks. 12 weeks. 12 times. You got to go 12 times.
And they normally
Did you do that?
So
No.
I
Not even
showed up
close.
once, and they were supposed to update me about
You-
when they were going to
ma'am,
come back.
Let me just tell you this. You have everything to lose. We have 5,000 probationers. You've got to do your part you had an obligation, you sign it. This is what I plan to do. This is my promises I make. And you can't rely on them. You've got to do your own heavy lifting and figure it out. And don't blame it on nobody told me. You've got to take a positive effort.
Right.
It's your life. It's your freedom.
Right. So that's
We
why
got 5,000 probationers we're working with. But we can't be, this isn't first grade. You're an adult. You've got to do some of the heavy lifting on your own. You have an order of this court that you have to perform. You can't blame it on the fact that nobody told you how to do it. You've got to go seek it out.
right.
Family to report September 14th, 2024 for a judicial review.
that was for here.
For here.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, she didn't come to court.
No, she didn't.
Explain that one away, if you can.
I wasn't aware that I was supposed to be in court
Yes, you were.
because I was told last year when I spoke to Judge Stevens' court that my charges were already dropped. They looked in.
Nobody said that.
Into my name, and that is what I was.
Nobody
told.
said that
They
with my
pulled up
court.
the call number.
They don't do that. That's not
Yeah.
what they do.
Well, they are paid to give me the information since I was representing myself at that time as pro se, and so they were giving me.
You know what they say about people who represent themselves? You know what they say about you're a smart lady. You know what they say about people who represent themselves who aren't lawyers? You have a fool for a client. That's an old saying from way back. That's a foolish choice. You're not competent to do this. You didn't go to law school. Not that you're not capable, you probably are. But you don't have the qualifications, the experience, the training. It takes more than just wanting to do it. It'd be like me doing hair coloring. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd have to learn it. I mean, I don't know. But this, I have 4 degrees. And that's what it takes to be a lawyer. You think I just dreamed that up one day and then I can start representing myself? I can, but there's that old saying, if you want to represent yourself, you have a fool for a client. Because it takes, especially if you're not trained in it and you don't have the law degree and you don't have the bar license, all of that is important to handling other people's lives, including yourself. This is freedom. This is part of the Constitution. You don't want to lose that because you think you can handle something brain surgery. Do you do much of that? No. And I'm not being facetious about it, but I'm not being facetious. It takes years of training. Yeah. Don't interrupt me when I speak. Stop. It takes years.
Me a question.
Do you want to interrupt me again, ma'am? Ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, is this that hard? When I speak, everybody's got to stop. That's kind of the rule because she can't take two people speaking over each other. Okay? And next time it happens, you're in contempt of court, which means you go to jail for a longer period of time. You've been warned. You want to speak over me again?
What you want to do is what you kind of
ma'am.
Like,
Ma'am.
Listen for it.
Ma'am.
Let me finish this.
Ma'am,
Okay.
you're in timeout. We're going to treat you like the child you're acting like. You're in timeout. I'll deal with this next week. Okay? I'll deal with this next week. I've had enough of your rudeness and you're speaking over everybody. Just like that. You're going to go to jail. I'll deal with this next week.
Okay.
Bye.
This is my first time ever being.
No, it's not, ma'am.
Yes, it is. I've never been in
Ma'am,
trouble.
you're an adult.
Why are you pulling my?
Ma'am, you're under arrest. That's why. You're in custody.
I understand that.
All right, thank you. Quit being rude. Quit being rude, ma'am. Thank you. You're rude. Quit being rude. What's next? Let me go to some.
And just like that, she learned the hard way. Instead of handing down the 30 days most judges would give for contempt, he actually went light and stalled the case for 7 days. So she'll be sitting in a cell for a full week with nothing but time to think about how talking over a judge worked out for her. And yeah, 7 days might not sound like much, but it's more than enough time to realize that arguing in court doesn't help you. It only proves a judge's point. I honestly will never understand why people think debating a judge is going to change the outcome. You're not persuading anyone. You're not standing your ground. All you're doing is digging yourself deeper. And when you got an attorney right there trying to help you, trying to do his job, and you keep interrupting him, that's just self-sabotage at its finest. The part that really made me laugh was when the judge said she's smart. Because look, smart people don't end up back in the same courtroom for the same violations twice. She might have potential, sure, but potential doesn't mean a thing if you refuse to learn from consequences. Intelligence without discipline doesn't take you anywhere. After 7 days, she's right back on probation, just with stricter conditions. And honestly, that alone is a gift. A lot of judges would have ended this right there. This was another chance, one she didn't earn, but still got. Hopefully she figures it out before the next violation turns into a full sentence, because next time the court won't be nearly as patient. But I want to hear what you guys think. Did she deserve more time, or was giving her another shot the right move? And also, let me know what you think about these videos overall. I'm trying to make them better every time, and I can't do that without your feedback. I really appreciate everyone who watches and supports the channel. Take care, everyone.